Hi, my name is Joe Burgos. I'm the director and founder of the Pie Canela Dance School. We've been around for 17 years. Pie Canela Dance School had its humbling beginnings and simply teaching, four groups of 4 or 5 people at a time, and we've grown in the last 17 years to now 150 classes a week in about 30 different genres and styles. In the genre of Salsa on 2, we happen to have 8 different levels of dance, plus higher levels if people want to start performing or join a performance class and so forth. So at each level they're learning specific amount of movements, they're learning specific amounts of footwork patterns or partner work patterns that they can do with their friends and peers. And as they progressively harder each time, moving from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and so on. And then they can join performance classes where they have an opportunity to perform for their peers at any one of our events, even Madison Square Garden. And of course, from there, some of them choose to join the dance company and become professional dancers as well.
My name is Miguel Aparicio. I am from South Texas, born and raised, so I'm Mexican-American. After high school, I went to college at the University of Texas at Austin. That's where I started dancing. And even before that, I used to play music. So my segue into dancing is always having played sports and played music, and dance is kind of the combo of both the expression and the movement from sports. I've digged into the roots and discovered Cuba, and really my favorite is actually rumba, Cuban rumba. I also study Cuban folklore, which is a huge umbrella of different dance and practices, festive dance and spiritual dance. And then you have Cuban popular dance, son, mambo, cha-cha-cha. I think that that's great. I think it allows people to learn. Some people, it's like easy when you have a system like that. You create a system and it helps people learn. I think that's a great tool to use in the beginning, and I think once people, if they're more interested, they can start to really focus on what the instruments are, on the instruments that are playing. For example, in salsa, mambo, New York style, you're dancing to the rhythm of the conga, which is called the tumbao, and that's what you're accenting front and back. And so when you research it a little bit more, you find out that it doesn't fit exactly within the number system that is like of the New York style. And the way to properly dance to that rhythm is to go back to the son style.
I didn't know what salsa was, but every time I heard that music, salsa is kind of a generic term because it includes cha-cha, changa, some other rhythms. But whenever I heard some Latin music, and I think it was cha-cha at first, that I would always jump and want to dance, and just spoke to me. I had no idea what it was, and at some point I kind of figured it out. Some bar would have a Latin night and people would dance to Latin music. So I didn't know what I was doing, but I started dancing. And I moved from Raleigh to New York because of course New York is the place to be if you dance salsa. And I started going out, people are dancing so well, so I was like, well, I gotta take lessons. The biggest name in salsa world is Eddie Torres. Eddie Torres is a mambo king. That's the one who pretty much brought it to the masses.
My drug was dance. So I would very easily go to the Copa back in the day, and that's where I would waste all that energy and revive myself, refresh myself for the next day. And then from the club scene, trying to decide, okay, what am I going to do next with that, and seeing how other people had different styles of dance, encountering people that knew how to dance this specific style of salsa, Jimmy Anton, Victor Charisma, Eddie Torres, the founder of the dance itself.
I got to study with master teachers, master rumba teachers coming from families, so it was like, learning from families who created the history of rumba as we know it, such as the Muñequitos de Matanzas. I also studied with a grandmaster named Santiago Alfonso, who is responsible for Cuba's history in dance.
It has, as opposed to the classical forms of dance, is the fact that salsa is a social dance. So people, while practicing, have the opportunity to socialize. Whereas if we were doing something like ballet, there is very little socialization factor to a classical form of dance like ballet. In salsa, people are socializing, and before they know it, they've been practicing for 2 or 3 hours, which they pretty much see as just dancing for 2 or 3 hours with their group of friends or, people at a club and so forth.